In the land of Uz lived a man named Job. He was a man of great faith. He was upright and blameless. Job feared God and shunned evil. The Lord had blessed Job abundantly. Job had 7 sons and 3 daughters. He possessed vast herds of livestock. He was considered the greatest man among all the people of the East. One day, Satan appeared before God in heaven. God pointed to Job as an example of a faithful servant, but Satan challenged God. He suggested that Job's faithfulness was due to the blessings he enjoyed. Take away his wealth and his health, Satan argued, and he will surely curse you. God permitted Satan to test Job. However, God forbade Satan from harming Job physically. The stage was set for a profound test of faith. Job's character would be put through a crucible of suffering. His story serves as a timeless example of perseverance and the enduring power of faith. Through trials and tribulations, Job's journey reminds us that even in the darkest of times, God's presence and love never waver. God's love for Job was unwavering. He allowed this test, but he set boundaries. He would not allow Satan to take Job's life. This shows us that even in the midst of suffering, God is with us. He sets limits on our pain. He never abandons us. Tragedy struck swiftly and relentlessly. Messengers arrived one after another. Each brought news of devastating loss. First, Job's oxen and donkeys were stolen, his servants killed. Then, fire consumed his sheep and the servants tending them. Next, his camels were raided and stolen, and his servants were slain. Finally, the worst news arrived. A great wind had struck the house where Job's children were feasting. The house collapsed, killing all of his sons and daughters. In a single day, Job lost everything he held dear. His wealth, his livelihood, and most tragically, all of his children were gone. Job's grief was immeasurable. He tore his clothes, shaved his head in mourning, and fell to the ground in worship. The Lord gave, and the Lord has taken away, Job declared. Blessed be the name of the Lord. Even in the face of unimaginable suffering, Job refused to curse God. The depth of Job's loss is almost incomprehensible. Yet, he remained steadfast in his faith. He acknowledged God's sovereignty, understanding that God has the right to give and to take away. Job's response is a testament to the strength that comes from a deep-rooted relationship with God. As Job grieved, another affliction struck him. Painful sores erupted all over his body. He sat in ashes, scraping his sores with a piece of broken pottery. Job's wife, overwhelmed by grief and despair, urged him, "Curse God and die." But Job refused to turn away from God. "Shall we accept good from God and not trouble?" he asked his wife. Job's faith, though shaken, had not been extinguished. He understood that life is not without its trials. 3 of Job's friends, Eliphaz, Bildad, and Zophar, came to comfort him. They sat with him in silence for 7 days and nights, sharing his pain. When they finally spoke, they offered explanations for Job's suffering. They believed that Job's misfortunes were punishment for some hidden sin. Job's friends, though well-intentioned, could not comprehend the depth of Job's suffering. Their words, meant to comfort, often added to his pain. Job maintained his innocence, pleading with God for understanding. He longed for an explanation for his suffering. In the midst of Job's despair, God appeared to him. He spoke from a whirlwind, challenging Job's understanding of the universe and his place in it. "Where were you when I laid the earth's foundation?" God asked. Job, humbled by God's power and majesty, acknowledged his limited understanding. He repented of his questioning and confessed his trust in God's wisdom. God rebuked Job's friends for their misguided accusations. He then showered Job with double the blessings he had before. Job's wealth was restored. He was blessed with 7 sons and 3 daughters, even more beautiful than his first children. Job lived a long and prosperous life after this, seeing his children and grandchildren flourish. The story of Job is a testament to the enduring power of faith. It reminds us that even in the face of unimaginable suffering, God is present and at work. Our responsibility is to trust in His goodness and remain faithful, knowing that He will never abandon us. Job's story teaches us that suffering is not always a punishment. It can be an opportunity for growth, refinement, and a deeper understanding of God's love. When we face trials, we must remember that God is with us and He will see us through. Our faith, like Job's, may be tested, but it will ultimately emerge stronger and more resilient.